What's up, you guys? It's DC Grades here, and we are here with the NCAA tournament picks for 2013 on Sunday, March 24th.
Alright, as he hands the mic over to me, I will make the decisions, picks, and I will hand the mic over to Jacob over here for his picks. So, in our first game, we've got number 2 Ohio State and number 10 Iowa State. Now, Iowa State is obviously a clear underdog in seeding and skill level, in my opinion. And this one's in Dayton, Ohio, so Ohio State will get the home field advantage. Home court, sorry. So I think Ohio State's they've got too much experience in the NCAA tournament. I don't think Iowa State has had a lot of experience here. They haven't been here that many times, so I think Ohio State is just going to prove too much skill for Iowa State.
I think the Buckeyes will pull out the win because I just think they have a bunch of talent on the floor with Deshaun Thomas and Aaron Kraft on defense. What they need to work on is rebounding, though. If they need to work on rebound if they want to move on further in this tournament.
And I'm pretty sure this will make my dad happy, but Ohio State needs to stop chucking up stupid shots. Like, that's their number one concern, is they keep doing that. That game's at 12:15, by the way. Tune in to your local stations. Okay, the next game we have is number 9 Temple against number 1 Indiana. Now, Indiana has way too many sharpshooters. Pretty much 3 out of their 5 guys, which is 60% of their team, is over 40% from 3. That is just an amazing stat. So that one's also in Dayton, Ohio. And it's between number 1 Indiana and number 9 Temple, as I said. Indiana has just way too much skill and 3-point range for Temple, and I think they will thoroughly overwhelm them.
I have to agree with him. They have a lot of good 3-point shooters, and with those 3-point shooters, they also have the best rebounder in the Big Ten, Cody Zeller. I think he's just too much for Temple, and that's why I think Indiana will win.
Alright, as we move on to our next pick between number 8 North Carolina and number 1 Kansas. This is in Kansas City. Kansas will have a ton of fans since their fans travel extremely well, so they will have this home court advantage. But I happen to pick the Tar Heels over Kansas because I think the Tar Heels will come out and play better than Kansas will be expecting. They will shock them, and they will win this game.
I think that the Tar Heels will beat on them at first, but then once they get tired and worn down, that Kansas Jayhawk offense will come in and just beat them. And I think that Kansas has too much talent in three-point shooting, and North Carolina needs to work on defense more. So that's why I think the Jayhawks will pull out the win.
Also, Kansas has a great player in Jeff Whitney, which he's also a volleyball player. He's extremely tall, and he, as Jacob said, might be the deciding factor in this game.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a very close game. It's going to come down to the wire. The next game we have is Minnesota, which is number 11, and 3 Florida. This game is going to be played in Austin, Texas, 6:10 p.m. ET, so make sure to tune into your local TV listings. I think that Minnesota is they just don't have enough talent, I don't think, for Florida. Florida's just too young. They've got too many fresh legs. And Minnesota, I just don't think they're good enough for Florida. I don't think they're going to hang with them.
I have to agree with him that I think Florida has a great starting rotation, and then once the starting rotation gets down, then they have a great bench players. And their average bench points is higher than almost any team in the nation. So that's why I think Florida will pull out the win.
In our next game, we've got 2 teams, obviously, between the number 15 FGCU and number 7 San Diego State. Now, number 15, I believe, is the highest seed in this tournament left. But in the next game, we've got a number 13 seed, which is pretty close. But I think FGSCU, they shocked a bunch of people with their win last round. over Georgetown, and I think they're just going to be way too tired. They had to play their absolute hearts out for that game, and I think they're just going to be way too worn down from that, and San Diego's going to pull it out in a close one.
I have to agree with him picking San Diego State on this one. I think that San Diego State just will tire them down and wear them down with the defense, and they'll get a bunch of steals. So I have to go with San Diego State.
All right, and in our next game, it's going to be on True TV, 7:40 p.m. ET, between number 13 LaSalle, who came off that big win.
Old Mississippi, by the way, they are playing.
That one is also in Kansas City as the first two we mentioned. So I think that I don't know a lot, to be honest, about these two teams, but I do believe that LaSalle had a huge win in their last game. And this is an extreme tough pick, but I am going to go with LaSalle. I think they're going to shock a lot of people in this tournament. They might be the VCU of 2 years ago that made it to the Final Four. You never know.
I think I'm going to have to agree with him. I think LaSalle is just a great team, a great underdog team, and Ole Miss just don't have enough talent on defense to beat them. So I think LaSalle's going to win.
So, I'm going to start off with saying I'm a huge Ohio State fan. That's my pick in this tournament. And I say this because the game I remember Ohio State played Illinois, and that's who we're going to pick the next game. In the last game of the regular season, I believe. And Illinois did not shoot great. And Ohio State didn't shoot great either, but Illinois shot worse. That's why Ohio State won that game. So it depends on how Illinois is kind of more of a streaky team. They could either shoot really bad or they can shoot really good. You never know. But unfortunately, since they played really well their last game, I think they're going to play really bad this game. And they're going to lose badly to Miami, Florida.
I'm going to have to agree with him. I think that the Miami Hurricanes just have a lot of talent on the floor. They're all around. They can shoot threes, jump shots, almost anything, almost anywhere.
All right. Last game. We've got number 7 Craigton against number 2 Duke. That's going to be the latest game in the evening. TBS. I've got a big upset here. I've got Craigton. Craigton, whatever. They have very fresh legs on their team. They've got people that can jump, and I think they're going to shock Duke with the way how athletic they are.
I think that Duke will pull out the win on this one. I think that Creighton is just going to get worn down by all Duke's all-around point guards, and I think that Duke will come out with a win. This has been our report from DC Grades. Peace out.